Hi everyone, Red Dog Gamer here, and I hope you're all feeling well today. For this video, I'm going to be showing you how to stream and record gameplay from a Xbox Series X to an M1 Mac computer. There is some differences around, software compatibility that you need to be aware of. And so this video is going to sort of go through all that and explain sort of the best setup and how you can get the most out of your streams and recordings. In terms of who the video is actually aimed at, well, it could be if you've already got an M1 Mac and you're having some difficulties actually getting your streams to be set up perfectly, maybe you're having audio issues, etc. And this will help with that and just getting that optimum setup depending on what you're actually using. Or it could be that you're thinking about buying an M1 Mac for streaming and recording gameplay and the subsequent video editing, and you just want to be sure that you're doing the right thing. So if you sit in either of those two camps, then I think you'll find this video extremely useful. Before I get into it, if you've not done so already and you do like the video or find any of it useful, if you can please support me and my channel by liking the video, and also if you can give me a subscription, then that would be absolutely fantastic. In terms of hardware requirements, you're going to require a capture card, and I recommend this one by Elgato, which is the HD60S Plus. It needs to be the Plus edition for it to be compatible with MacBook computers, but it's a great little device that allows you to stream and record at full high definition 1080p resolution, whilst also playing the games in their full 4K capabilities with its 4K pass-through feature. If you're interested in this, I'll put a link in the description. In order to connect your capture card to your M1 Mac, you're going to need one of these, which is a USB Type A to Type C adapter. This one by Anker is small enough that you can fit two side by side, which is really useful when connecting multiple peripherals to your laptop. I'll put a link for this item in the description as well. On to software requirements, and Elgato's game capture software is not fully compatible with the M1 Macs. It's for that reason that you're going to need to download an alternate software solution. I use OBS Studio, and you can Google this, or I'll put a link in the description. But this is a great open source software that allows you to stream directly to platforms such as YouTube, Twitch and Facebook. Now that you've got your capture card and you've downloaded OBS, it's all about setting it up for that first stream and recording. On one side, you've got an incoming HDMI port that you'd actually plug the one end into your Xbox or PS5 and the other end into the capture card. And you've also got the USB Type-C connector that goes directly into your M1 Mac. On the other side of the capture card, there's an HDMI out port, and this connects HDMI directly to your television and allows you to broadcast what's on the TV screen onto your actual laptop. Now that you've connected your capture card to your games console, you're going to want to set up OBS Studio. And one of the first steps I recommend here is to actually run the auto configuration wizard, which is in the tools tab at the top. What this allows you to do is to actually optimize OBS depending on whether you're going to be using it primarily for recording your gameplay or for streaming it to services such as YouTube or Twitch. What this actually does is it calibrates OBS and the settings based on your computer's performance. So if you've got an M1 Mac, it will make sure that you are getting the most out of your streams and recordings. So I'd definitely recommend doing this as a first step. As we have now optimized OBS based on our hardware, it's all about setting up the console to stream and record. The first step you're going to want to take to do this in OBS is to add a scene and then give the scene a name. I typically like to give the scenes the name of the console that I'm setting up. So in this instance, it will be Xbox Series X. Once you've got that, you're then free to add sources. Now, sources needs to be the video source and the audio source that you're going to be using for your stream or recording. Initially, I'm going to set up the video capture, which is video capture device. And then feel free to give that a name as well. In this instance, I'm going to be calling it Elgato. And then you select your device. In this instance, it's the Game Capture HD60S Plus. And you'll see there's a little box that you can adjust so that it covers the full screen. So setting that at 1920 by 1080 will make that full screen for you as well. Once you've got your video source, you need to also add an input audio capture. This will capture the sound from your recording or stream. And for this, I'm going to be selecting the game capture again to capture the audio that's coming from my game. Providing your capture card is now hooked up to your Xbox or PS5 or whatever game console you're using, and you've set up your stream recording in OBS in the form of the scenes and sources, then all you need to do is to turn on your games console, and what is visible on your TV screen should also be viewable now in OBS on your laptop. But to record, it's simply a case of hitting the Start Recording button in OBS under the Controls panel, and this will start the recording, and it will only finish when you actually decide to finish it yourself. So when you click on Stop Recording, that will finish it for you, and whatever you've captured during that time you'll be able to then take out of OBS and edit and do whatever you want with. In order to locate the files that you've recorded in OBS, you simply go to the Files tab at the top, Show Recordings, and then you locate the recording in the folder that it is actually saved to. And then you double click on it and it will load a box, and you'll be able to watch your ready-made video that you've recorded through OBS. OBS by default will record your gameplay in MKV format, which is not compatible with a lot of video editing tools. To combat this, they have got a feature called Remux Recordings, which you can do by going File, Remux Recordings, and then it's a case of finding the file that you've recorded, and then when you do that, it actually converts it quickly and easily into MP4 format for you in the original file location. Streaming your gameplay in OBS is also really straightforward, and you can do so through services such as YouTube and Twitch. The first step I'd recommend is going to OBS and then selecting the Preferences option and going down to Stream, and then you can select what service you've got. For me, I use YouTube, so I'd select that, and then there's an option to connect your YouTube account to OBS to make it quick and easy next time round. Then it's a case of clicking on Manage Broadcast in the Controls panel to actually create the broadcast, and you can do that in there and select a thumbnail and do everything that you'd do through YouTube. You can also select an existing broadcast if there's one that's already set up on YouTube ready to go. And when you've got that, it's just a case of clicking on Start Streaming in OBS, and that will start the stream, and you can go over to your YouTube page to just make sure that that's coming through as intended. Well, that's it for now. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope it helped you in some way. If you have got any further questions though regarding streaming or recording from console to M1 Mac, then please comment on the video and I will endeavour to support you further. But other than that, like I said earlier, if you can please support me by subscribing to my channel, I would really appreciate it, and I'll speak to you all soon.